It's Erin at supercoder.com. Welcome. Here's another installment in our ACE the CPC exam series. Today's topic is Your Roots Are Showing. No, we're not talking about anyone needing a touch-up at the salon. We're talking about how learning to see the root terms embedded in medical words can help you know the word's meaning. And that skill helps you answer the exam's anatomy and terminology questions quickly. As the AAPC pages explain, you're going to get some straight anatomy and terminology questions on the exam. These kinds of questions aren't even going to ask you to code. They're just going to ask you what the words mean. And if you're prepared for the exam by learning your roots, you can answer those questions quickly. But watch out. Even the short terminology exam questions that don't require you to code can be very tricky. Let's look at a sample question that's a real stumper. And let's look at how it's trying to trick us. Here's the question. The word element hydra refers to the following: A, water retention, B, renal tubules, C, tear production, or D, sweat glands. Do you know the answer? It's D, sweat glands. But don't feel badly if you didn't know the answer, because this question is trying very, very hard to trip you up. Let's look at what this evildoer is doing. One thing this tricky question is doing is trying to see whether you know the difference between the root hydra, sweat gland, and the root hydro, which means water, as in hydrocephalus, or water on the brain, or a word like hydration. So the incorrect choices in the multiple choice questions are related to watery things like kidneys and tears. But it's sweat. So let's imagine you encounter this question in the exam and, even though you've studied your roots hard, you're just not sure. If that's the case, don't forget you have your secret weapons, the coding manuals that you're allowed to take into the exam room. They can provide the clues you need to answer a terminology question that's hard for you. One thing you might do if this sweat gland question is confusing you, look at the alphabetic index in the back of your CPT manual under hydra to see if you can find clues. Sure enough, we find the entry hydrodendritis and below it the words see sweat gland. In this case, we've used our manual to make sure that D, sweat gland, is the correct choice. Now, even though the exam's open book rules can save you sometimes, you don't have time to hunt through the book for every answer. That's why you need to study your roots beforehand. It's one of the easiest things to do to prepare for the exam. Write them on index cards and test yourself whenever you have some dead time. How about during those really boring pee-wee baseball games? You can always put the cards down when it's your kid at bat. On the backs of your root word flashcards, put both the meaning and a word you know that contains the root. That will help you remember the root's meaning and discern meanings of words containing the root you don't know as well. Here are some to start with. For more help, check out this cool medical root word list on Wikipedia. That's it for today's lesson. Your roots are showing. For more CPC exam prep tips, visit us at supercoder.com, where coders matter.